Morning guys, welcome back. If you saw yesterday's video, you know I was painting and priming the unit down here, ready to go. I need to turn that over, give it a couple of coats of paint. Luckily it's a 15-minute touch dry and 45-minute ready to recoat, so it shouldn't take too long. I couldn't do it earlier this morning, it was too damp and too cold, so I've been waiting to do that. Let me show you what I have been doing today. Okay, I've just quickly tidied up. This is still a temporary setup at the moment until I've got all the other cables running. I've just attached that battery monitor on there. That's showing the starter battery is 12.5. As I say, it's a temporary setup. There's my current drain, which is the trickle charge being sent to the starter battery because I've had the radio on again. I've just literally tidied up some cables there so they're out of the way. I haven't attached these cables up yet, and that battery monitor will be up higher on full display and not hidden behind the unit. Okay, what I have done is put some batting in around the lips of these batteries. I was obsessed yesterday with how to make ratchet straps to tie down. I overlooked the obvious, which was just to put batting in over the lips. So that's done. This side and both pieces of wood are screwed in independently of each other. So the first piece is screwed in 4 times, and then the next one, and also the piece of wood in the middle there stops the battery coming up at that end, and again there's a lip over the lip that end, and there is a bar behind as well, but that isn't covering the lip anyway. So that's them fixed in place. The unit will hide them. We latch boxes are in, just fixed simply like that. And they're nice and strong. There's a bit of gap here, as I said in the previous video. That's caused by the all-in-one ply panel actually bends around from the wheel arch and is secured in. So where do we see it? So I just put a little packing piece in there, if you can hardly see, and I shall put another one in there, just a little piece, and just run some carpet around it. It's not going to, probably not even going to be on view. So okay, next thing is the electrics. Now I'm just going to take these 2 red cables, which one runs to there and comes out there, and I'm going to connect that up to the positive bus bar in there that comes off the CTEC consumers, and the other one runs through that hole up across the roof. So it runs up across, and it's currently just tucked away up in there for the moment. But that's going to run to here, which will be inside a cabinet and provide another little fuse box, and various things like the telly and stuff will run off that. So I'm going to get that connected up, get them cables cut to the right size. So cut to the right size so they fit neatly in there and are connected up at that end. Now the other thing I just want to mention is the floor. Some of you that have watched all my videos, or some of my videos, may have seen the one where I decided how to layer the floor up. There are no cross battens or lengthwise battens. It's literally relying on the weight of those sheets onto the XPS foam, and the XPS foam is literally burdening the weight. However, I have noticed a couple of problems with that, and that's when I've been in the van kneeling near to this crease line, and as a result of kneeling really close to the edge, if I just happen to be kneeling on a bit where there's a large gap between ribs, and in some places there's a good 10-inch gap between the ribs, I should have filled that in. I've had a little crack It's not going to be too much, but I don't want it to happen up there where the main area of the open floor is going to be, and there is a little bit of a problem there, so I've put in an extra couple of screws, and hopefully that'll just level it out better. But I should have run a couple of little bit of battens through those ultra wide rib channels. If I've got a picture, I'll show you what I mean. Okay, those two in the middle there are now wired in, running to the other parts of the van. It does still look like a spaghetti junction there, but the main thing is that battery monitor that's got cables running everywhere, and that will all be tidied up. It's like a mass of cables there, a coil, various bits running to the starter battery as well. So that's what's making it look even worse than it is. It is so easy to make a mess of battery cables, but that will be located up high on the upper section up there at some point, so I'm not going to cut any cables shorter than I need to for now. So just having a quick look around the van now. Those back doors will be framed with the black Veltrim carpet lining, and the inserts will all be that anthracite, that really dark grey and black trim, just like I've got up there and up here. However, as I said yesterday, I think it was, I just can't be bothered with any more carpeting at the moment, and they're not really stopping any other work being done. So it's starting to take shape. Again, the ceiling is slightly on hold because of solar and my plan on the roof and stuff, and I need to look at that. So the other thing I've been doing today, and I've done 2 or 3 coats, is that unit out the back. I'll show you that. On the floor is the slide out shelf. Now the unit's got 3 coats on the very top, on the main shelf, and on that fascia down the bottom. The rest has only got 2 coats, and in fact some of the undersides are bits that you'll never see. I've only just got the 1 coat of the primer. Tomorrow I can get that painted in the grey paint that I want to paint that, and it'll be a mattish effect. I'm going to use an emulsion. So that's the positioning of the unit roughly. I need to check the seat, make sure the seat fully operates, but that'll be boxed in around the sides. Let's go around and look from the other angle. Okay, yeah, there's not much room on the seat. Probably have to shift it across slightly. What I want to do now then is just measure up my diagonals. It was fine measuring up and saying it all should work before I had all this ply in and all the insulation in and whatever, but I've obviously cut it down a little bit now. I tried to allow for that, but let's see what the actual measurement is diagonally across there. So the diagonal from here across to there is 2.1 meters, so it's very, very tight, because the actual, that's point to point, and you need a little bit more than that on width wise, so it's going to be very, very tight. So I might just have a little play around with, move this stuff at the other end of the van and have a little play around with it. Where I'm sat now is the equivalent of sat on the bed at the right angle facing there. So I've got the unit to the side of me. I'll have the double swivel seat there, which won't get swiveled all the time, obviously, but when it does, I'll open up this area. Now, this desk with its drawer that comes out, as long as it's strong enough, would be ideal. Even if I'm sat up there. So sat on the bed at that angle. But is there a long enough foot room? Now, I'm 1.78 meters, and generally you need 1.9 meters length in a bed. Now I'm saying this is 2.1, but that's point to point. There's no width in that, so I need to measure a decent point in, and that's where it gets tricky. So the best way to test it was to actually lay down, so that's what I've just done. That little batten of wood going across there is where my head comes to. Obviously it's going to be higher up, so it's going to be up just above that wheel arch, so I'll have room to move sideways. But yeah, and the feet came down to here, which once I'm up there will be a large area here. So it's going to be a weird shaped bed, but if I can make it symmetrical, it means I can turn the mattress, and the mattress will be made out of the memory foam mattress that I've acquired, and it will be cut to the exact shape, and I'm hoping that's a symmetrical shape so it can be rotated and whatever. Anyway, so next couple of days, getting that painted, that unit painted up properly, and starting to get some framework designed for the bed. I know a few people are looking forward to it to see if it'll work. Now, what I'm doing is nothing, although people don't claim to have diagonal beds, they do sleep diagonally in their beds, and that's quite common, where a bed is the same height as someone, you just sleep at a diagonal. Now, so I could make a huge great big bed out of this and sleep diagonally on it, but then it's just me in this van, so there's no point having this whole great big backspace, great big square. For starters, I don't have enough, the mattress isn't big enough to cover the whole area. I know it's a king size, but it's not quite big enough. It's a UK king size. You know, I plan on having a corner unit in here. That sounds terrible, but I'll have a unit in that corner. I'll have a unit up high up that side, and high up here, high level, there'll be the unit with the TV on it. So you know, I don't want the whole area just taken up by a massive great big bed, a square bed. So that's why I'm talking about a diagonal bed, but what I'm actually talking about is a hexagonal or even octagonal shaped mattress. So it'll be very similar to a single, but just with a little bit chopped off each of the four corners, and I think that should be enough. In fact, it'll be longer than a normal single with a bit chopped off each corner. That's probably it for today. So as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again tomorrow.